Hi there. This is John Browning with Guardian Rock Wealth. And by now, we all know President Trump won the election for 2024. And many of you watching this video are highly upset that that happened. And you're concerned about the economy, the markets, and what is going to happen. And you're very passionate about that. On the flip side, those who were supporters of President Trump are excited and they see great things ahead for the economy. And right before the election, particularly this election, which was so contentious, we saw a lot of market activity shifting to the sidelines. Cash was raised, a lot of angst and consternation about what would happen after the election took place, and there was no clear winner in sight at that point, and people were just concerned. So a lot of cash on the sidelines. What we then saw was that cash, once we had the certainty and it was a clear cut winner in this case, we saw that cash put back to work in mass, and we saw a significant uptick, particularly in the equity market, and also a particularly striking downdraft for fixed income. So 10-year treasuries are down significantly. So those of you who were in that, what I consider to be a bit of an outdated strategy that no longer works. Used to work really, really well when I first started in the industry 30 years ago, that 60-40 portfolio, 60% equities and 40% bonds, and then walk away and don't think about it again. That really has not worked for over a decade for any great length of time. And that's what happened over the past couple of days as well. But I just find it really fascinating, no matter which side of the political fence that you fall on, how polarizing it can be and how convinced we can become that the markets in general will react in one way or another. And it really has to do with our economic perspectives, right? So, Republicans versus Democrats and how you feel about the economy. The reality is, in the first month after any election, no matter who wins, Republican or Democrat, equity market tends to move higher. Not necessarily in the following month, but that first month, that tends to happen, with one major exception in 2008 when George W. Bush conceded to Obama. And it was during the middle of the housing crisis. And I think both parties agreed that the economy was not in a good place. And so we did not see that uptick in the month following the presidency. And a lot of people believed that we had a significant chance of doing that again this time. But of course, as we now know, that did not happen, or certainly hasn't happened yet in the past few days. And as we look at people's feelings about one political party versus another, it's important, if you want to retire well, to really take the politics out of it and realize that the companies that are out there that are good, solid companies that have a place in your portfolio, they treat their investors well, they treat their employees well, they're innovative, they have strong balance sheets, possibly pay a dividend. That's a healthy dividend, not an unhealthy dividend. And that is very important to realize as well, that those companies will adapt. Historically, they have adapted. And if you look out on guardianrockwealth.com, under the resources section, our latest written blog post shows you a graph where it shows that no matter who is president, the market tends to move up and to the right uh, over long periods of time, again, no matter who is president. So when you're thinking about your investing, try and take the politics out of it and really analyze the individual companies and your individual portfolio in a way that makes sense for you and your risk parameters. And of course, this is not investment advice, and history does not guarantee future results. But if you take the politics out of it and you just focus on those fundamental investment principles, I think what you'll find is that we live in the greatest country on earth. And yes, I'm biased because I am an American living here in the United States, and I am very happy to have my freedom. And if you look at countries that do not have freedom of speech, they do not have freedom to move about, they are missing some of those freedoms. A classic example is Korea. If you look at Korea at night from space, you will see that North Korea is almost completely black and South Korea full of light. You'll see, if you look at the statistics about Korea, that North Korea, only about 3% of the roads are paved, and 97% of the roads are paved in South Korea. You'll see that the infant mortality rate is about 26.21% in North Korea versus 4% in South Korea. And you'll see, because of the freedom of speech issue, right about 0% of the people in North Korea have access to online resources where they can get educated and get the education that they need, whereas 81.5% of those in South Korea have access to the internet and are online. And of course, when you look at South Koreans versus North Koreans, their per capita income is astronomically larger in South Korea than it is in North Korea. So certainly, no matter who you voted for this election season, I think we all have to be excited and happy that we are here in the United States, if you in fact are, and that we do have the freedom of speech. We have the freedom to watch these videos on YouTube. We have the freedom to learn what we're interested in and to make our lives better based upon our choices, the choices that we make. So I hope that you have a great next 4 years, no matter who you voted for in this particular election. And remember, focus on the fundamentals of the companies that you are investing in and think long term, and practice what I call portion control, which means that you don't believe so much in one particular company or one particular sector, like the technology sector or something like that, that you get overweighted to one side versus the other side. And then your risk parameters go up, sometimes without you really noticing. So take advantage of when the market moves to reapportion your portfolio in a way that is balanced and consistent with what you need in your personal situation. This is John Browning with Guardian Rock Wealth. I hope you'll continue to join me here on the Building Your Life podcast and all of the other publications that we have here at Guardian Rock Wealth, and our YouTube channel, our LinkedIn, and our website at guardianrockwealth.com. We are taking new clients. We'd love to speak with you no matter where you are in your personal financial journey. Have a great evening.